public schools may be not doing so well, but there's also like new flaws in the voucher system that a lot of opponents have failed to bring up, such as the cost of attending private schools may not be affordable for most people. Let's say a voucher costs, you get a $6,000 voucher, and private school costs $32,000 total. They still have to make up $7 grand. And according to a recent study done by the Public Policy Institute of California, California's middle class has shrunk to its lowest level in 30 years. The poorest lost 20% of their income, the middle class lost 11% of their income, and the workers lost only 8% of their income. So basically, a lot of families that have, like say, average families like 4, and they make only 25 grand a year, and paying for taking $7 grand out of their paycheck to do a lot of year for their kids' education. Let's say they have 3 kids each, and paying for each kids to go to school is not feasible for many families, so it's not necessarily a good idea. And another point I think bring up is that a lot of teachers, for private schools, the concept in private schools is that teachers are not required to have a teaching degree at all, just knowledge of the subject that they'll be teaching. And there's also less diversity in the choice of subjects, and there's no special education classes available. And students must pass the entrance exam to be admitted, and most private schools are religious-based. So half of the private schools are religious-based and half are not, so basically that already eliminates half of the available options. And on top of that, there's also a risk that many schools will opt for maximum profit by scheduling optional supplies, teacher pay, and teacher qualifications. And my opponent mentioned that the more cons of the private school system is that good students living in public schools will only reach by the public schools and worse students, basically. And also, I like to bring up a study done by the Center for Education Policy. It was performed by Jack Jennings, who is the president of the organization. The study, published in 2007, he concluded that, contrary to belief, we can find no evidence that private schools actually increase student performance. This is coming from a study done by Jack Jennings. And for the unprobe, he says that instead it appears that private schools simply have higher percentages of students who perform well in any environment based on their performance and background. And another study done by the National Assessment of Education Progress, done by Dr. Lubinsky, basically the study confirms what he said. This kind of study performed published in 2006. And also another study performed at Paul Keeson of Harvard University, the Director of Program on Education and Policy and Governance. Basically, his quote was that the study found that older students find it more difficult to have adjusted to private schools. In fact, parents of students newly enrolled to the voucher program reported higher suspension rates for students for grades 6 through 8, which is 20% higher compared with 3% in public schools. And further on, there's also more risk of that. There's also risk of segregation by race and class, since private schools are not affordable for people of lower class or middle class. And on top of that, my opponent brings up that public schools are failing, but in fact, a lot of those schools in Southern California perform quite well, such as Orange County, for example. They have the highest admissions rate for kids into the UC system. And another alternative to the public school system can be magnet programs, such as Orange County. They have different programs that separate students based on their learning levels, such as PACE, PAC-LAM, CIC, and they group students based on their learning rates. So it's an alternative program to private schools. And also they have charter schools, which also is a different alternative to private schools. And yeah, that's so far. Although it is short.